Hey everybody, welcome to my liquidation course here. Just named it Liquidation 101. It's going to be presented to you by, again, me, David Guzman. Again, I appreciate you for buying this course and, wanting to make a change with your life and proceed forward with, just trying something new. And we'll go ahead and just get straight into it. I'm going to try to just get straight to the point throughout this whole thing because it's honestly very simple. It's just pretty much simple concepts that we just pretty much have blown up and made bigger and scaled up. But let me go ahead and just get started here with this. For starters, it's just an introduction to myself. Again, my name is David Guzman. I am a full-time liquidation reseller. Pretty much, if you don't keep up with my social media or anything, I actually recently got fired from my main job because I actually started pursuing reselling as my main thing. So I am now a full-time liquidation reseller. And we'll talk about what that means and what it is to do all that. But the name of my business is Wait Who Liquidation. Again, it's all part of the brand that I've been trying to build around the whole Wait Who brand. Like wait who, as in like wait who is David, and who am I and who am I going to become? So that's basically what that brand right there is. And we'll go ahead and just keep it rolling here. So first, I wanted to get into the basics of it, right? So before I get into the main course, I wanted to kind of just show you what we're doing on a very small scale. So let's just say we have this farmer guy right here. Let's just say his name is Joe. So Farmer Joe sells us an apple, brand new apple, nice shiny red apple for 10 cents, right? Cool. We were able to get this apple maybe because I don't know why, he just sells cheap apples to the local people, but maybe everybody doesn't know that he sells them. But guess what? You do. And he sells them for 10 cents each. Great. What do we do with that? We take that apple, right? Same apple that we had, and we sell it. We sold it for $1. So pretty much we sold this apple for pretty much a whole dollar. And that's the crazy thing because we originally had bought it for 10 cents. We take that $1, we subtract the 10 cents from the original cost, right? Cool. We get 90 cents profit. Guess what? You can now take that 90 cents and you can just buy yourself 90 cents worth of apples, which at this point is 9 apples. So imagine if you were to sell those same apples, right, for $1 each. You now have $9. So you were able to turn 10 cents from your original investment or your initial purchase and turn it into $9. So you turn 10 cents into a stack of $9 bills. So that's basically what we're doing. We're just flipping things, buying them for cheap, and selling them at a higher price. But that's pretty much overall what we're going to be focusing on today. Let me go ahead and look here. So, just liquidation. So what is liquidation? And let me go ahead and get into this. So again, it's pretty simple. Liquidation, again, is just the process of liquidating a business. And to you, that might not make too much sense, but basically it's when companies sell everything at a wholesale price for big lots. And basically it's just customer returns that may or may not be used and or work properly. So whenever you go shopping on Amazon, let's just say you have a random lady named Susan, right? So Susan decides to buy herself a blender. And she gets it and she's like, I don't think this is the blender that I want. Or maybe she tries it out. You know what? This isn't maybe going as good as I wanted it to, or maybe it doesn't have the functions or features that she needed. Crazy. Wow. So what she does is she decides to send back that blender to Amazon, and pretty much maybe along the process or along the way, or maybe when she was testing it out, she scratched it, something happened, maybe the box is torn up, whatever it might be, Amazon doesn't want that blender back, but they still want to make money off of it. So what they do is they take these products that people return back to Amazon and they pretty much sell it back to the general public, but the way that they do that is they sell it to a liquidation company or a warehouse. And I'll get to that in a second, but basically they sell it to one of these warehouses. These warehouses then at this point will sell them to you for a cheap discounted rate, either in like a semi-truck or something, or if you want to buy pallets, or even down to like really small boxes of electronics. It really varies in size, and honestly it's just pretty much everywhere in sizing. So you can get anything small to pretty much a whole semi-truck full of things. The way that it works is, just pretty much to recap on the last slide, the way that it mainly works is companies return things, or people return things to big major companies. These companies don't accept them. They sell them to the retailers, basically like liquidation firms or companies, whatever it might be. Then we come in as the customer of them and we buy these pallets. Cool. So what can you do with this liquidation pallet? Well, for starters, once you buy one, you want to sell everything or keep some of these items for yourself. But the main goal is always to try to sell as much as possible for maximum profit. Again, it is a business, but if for some reason you pick up anything that you think you like or you want to keep, then that's up to you. That's your choice. And then, of course, just other little duties that come along with it are like just cleaning all the items and inspecting them to make sure that they work and, that they're ready to be sold. There is times, typo right here, but you must fix and refurbish any pretty much items that you're going to end up getting, because there's going to be times you're going to get things that are broken, things that don't work, things that need minor cleaning, replacement products on them, or like parts, whatever it might be. But pretty much it is your responsibility to try to fix that and take care of it. If not, you can always give them away for free, donate, whatever thing you can do with it. But the goal is always to try to fix it, refurbish, and try to get it out. Where can you buy liquidation? So at this point, you know pretty much kind of what to do. Now you just need to know where you buy. The easiest way to find out if you have any liquidation centers near you is just simply to look it up. You can Google liquidation warehouse near me, liquidation pallets near me, things like that seem to work sometimes. If not, going just the general website, looking it up, clicking the website links, seeing what locations they have, see if there's anything, maybe if you live in LA, what's in LA, or if you live in, I don't know, Minnesota, check Minnesota, see what they got up there in Minnesota, I don't know. But basically, I'm lucky enough to have a liquidation.com warehouse actually right in my city here in Las Vegas. So I'll kind of explain that in a little bit and how that is a great advantage. But here's a good few websites to kind of start off on as well if you just want to look for smaller deals or something good to look at. Govdeals.com. GovDeals is basically government-owned properties, things from schools, police, fire station, literally anything that has to do with the government, and things that they have lying around, but that doesn't work for them, whatever it might be. They just basically auction it off online. They got cars. If you want to learn how to flip cars, that's a completely different thing. I haven't flipped cars, but if you want to buy cars on there, you can get some nice sports cars and stuff and flip them. If you want to buy old cars, laptops, computer, anything that might be government material, merchandise, whatever it is, vehicles, they have it on govdeals.com. And then let me check here. So via trading. So I'm skipping this one for right now because I'll explain that one in a bit. This one's my favorite. But via trading. So via trading is a little bit of a different one. Via trading, I believe, is based out in LA, but I'm not sure where they have more liquidation locations or warehouses. But via trading is a pretty unique one. So via trading, it's basically if you want to go in person, I believe, if you live in LA or close to any other locations, you can actually drive up to their location. You can actually inspect the pallets that they have lying around in the warehouse, and they will do live auctions, I believe, at the actual location, or you can just buy them up front for a specific price, and you can just get them then and there. They'll load them up on your truck, fill out some paperwork, and that's it. Or, of course, they offer online stuff too, so you can always buy all your pallets and stuff online and simply go and pick it up, or ship it to your house. Again, all these places, all these websites will have shipping to you, but pickup is the one that you always want to go for because it saves you the shipping costs. Some shipping costs can go anywhere from I don't know, if you buy a couple boxes, it could be like $50, right? If you buy a pallet, that can be like up to $200, $300, $400, $500, I don't even know. I've never paid for shipping. I've never really had to because I got lucky, and honestly, I would go the distance just to pick up something. So, last but not least, liquidation.com. Honestly, I think if I were to recommend anybody to start on liquidation, it would be with liquidation.com. Personally, it's my favorite website to shop on when I do liquidation, and it is where I started. It's a good place to kind of, throw a couple bucks, by couple I mean like $300-$400, pretty much at your first pallet. So liquidation.com, they have a bunch of different centers all around the United States. Luckily enough, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. They have a warehouse here. So what I do is pretty much just whenever I order anything, I order it from liquidation.com. I try to win the auctions. Great thing is a lot of people order online and they don't want to ship heavy things to their house all the way across the country or different states, cities, whatever. Cool thing is I am right here in Las Vegas, so what I do is I bid on them, and when I win an auction, I don't gotta pay $100, $200, $300 just to ship it to my house. I just get a truck, or my truck. You can also get a U-Haul truck if for some reason you don't have a vehicle to pick up a big pallet in. rent out a U-Haul, $20, simple. Or ask a friend for, to borrow their car if they're cool enough. Or, even pay them $10 to drive you there and maybe, get the pallet. Whatever you need to do, there's always a cheaper alternative. But pretty much just go, pick it up. They load it on the truck for you. You sign some paperwork. Currently, as I'm recording this, the coronavirus thing is happening, so the procedure is different. But basically, it's pretty much very similar in all the locations. Just I would recommend reading up on the policies for pickups, shipping, and everything that there is, how the website works, how auctions work, how fees work, because there is going to be buyer fees whenever you buy anything off of any of these websites. But definitely take a look into those. Okay, pickup and shipping. So for pickup and shipping, I think I already kind of explained this earlier, but if it is possible for you to, drive and pick up your pallet, it would be the best method, mainly because you can pick up in either your truck or car. Sometimes you have small, box orders that you can just, shove in your car, or a U-Haul rented vehicle. Any kind of rented vehicle or U-Haul that you can get, honestly, at the end of the day, it's still much better than paying $200 to $300 for shipping, as opposed to, a U-Haul that can go for $20 plus, I don't know how much they charge, $1 a mile. But that, better than $300, $200 for shipping, right? Cool. So if you can pick up, I always recommend that. If for some reason you don't have a liquidation location anywhere close to you, but you have a truck, I would say do it for the road trip. Just keep in mind, it still might cost you some gas, might cost you some money, but if you're able to do that, it might be better to just do that. It's really your choice. But if you have to resort to shipping something directly to you, then keep in mind the size of the pallet that you were bidding on beforehand, because that can definitely affect shipping. Make sure the weight of the pallet is something you're keeping in mind as well, and the cost to ship something like that, because again, I've had times where I've almost had to pay shipping like that to that point. But good thing, again, I was able to arrange my own pickup, and I've driven to places, gone the distance, and done it. But check up all the pickup and shipping policies on each site. I honestly recommend that before doing anything, because I don't want you to mess up. Each website is different. Each website has different policies. Each website has different procedures. And depending on what you do, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to end up in a hole and end up buying a pallet that you can't afford or can't pick up or can't ship because of money issues. And again, this is just basically a beginner course. So I always recommend just playing it safe and, just bidding on something simple and something that you can pick up, something you can afford. Okay. Oh, cool. So, as I was just talking about it, what to bid on. So, first, it's good to think about what you might bid on, right? And why it would have been returned back to the merchant in the first place. And what is the likelihood that these items will work? Let me think of an example. So, an example, let's just say that same example with Susan, right? And her blender. So, Susan got that blender, right? Let's just say you happen to order a pallet that's full of kitchen appliances, right? Because that's actually something that's happened to me before. I've bought a bunch of kitchen appliances, coffee machines, a bunch of home products too. But let's just say this one has kitchen appliances. So you buy a pallet and it has a bunch of appliances in it. What you want to do is pretty much think, hey, or let's just say in my case, it's beforehand, you're about to bid on these things. You say, hey, this pallet has a bunch of appliances in it. What are the reasons somebody, let's just say, would return a blender that's in the pallet? Maybe they tried it out. Maybe they broke the glass that was on the blender. So that means more than likely some items you might be receiving back might be chipped. They might have, maybe, errors or whatever might be specifically damage to the actual blender itself. Or sometimes people just, there's a chance that people just get the wrong blender. Maybe it was a gift. They don't want it. Return it. Whatever it is. Or maybe they just want their money back just simply because they need it. Right? So you need to think of the reasons why people return things to Amazon or Walmart, wherever you buy your liquidations from. But pretty much, why would people return something? And what are the chances that it would be broken? So that's pretty much something to always keep in mind. So again, if it's like a blender, think about that. If it's let's say it's a TV. If somebody returns a TV, right, what are the chances that they return that TV for, and what are the chances it'll work? So good thing to think about that is It's a TV, flat screen. People probably dropped the TV and broke it. So that means the screen is probably broken. Because I've never really heard of anybody returning a brand new working, fully functioning TV to Amazon because they didn't want it. People always want things like that. So the chances that it was returned for that are very, very slim to none. So it was more than likely broken, maybe water damage, whatever it might be. You have to think about what you're buying and why it was possibly returned and what you can do to kind of, maybe fix it or work with it. Let me see here. So second option as well is to simply choose an area of interest or expertise. Now what I mean by this is that if you're someone that has more skills in dealing with, let's say, electronics, or simply like electronics enough to enjoy selling them, choose that. Basically stick to things that you are happy to sell and that are possible to fix and refurbish. Now, because there basically is going to be a bunch of different categories of things that you can buy. There's electronics. There's like clothing. If you like clothing and you know how to work with that and where to sell it, stick with clothing. If you know how to fix electronics or you know how they work and how to get around them, do electronics. If you know how to do appliances, if you know how to do jewelry, again, it's very different makeup, everything that you can do and buy from. So it's really up to you. But I would say look for an area of interest for things that you're genuinely interested in selling, and things that you wouldn't mind looking up information for because you're happy selling it. So it's always a good one. All right, and now where can we sell our things? It's pretty simple. There's multiple platforms, but here are some of the main popular ones I think that you guys can use to pretty much sell all your things. So we have OfferUp and Letgo. OfferUp is a really good platform. Honestly, you can sell all your things there. Anything from like small to big things you can actually just throw on there. It takes like maybe 2 minutes to make a post and take pictures. Same thing for Letgo. Letgo honestly is not as popular as OfferUp, but it's definitely worth a shot because there are some people who use that instead of OfferUp. But OfferUp in general, I think, is one of the best. So go to OfferUp. eBay, if you want to list bigger things, remember there's going to be fees on eBay. There's fees on pretty much a lot of things. But eBay, you are going to have your listing fees and a few other stuff too. Just be wary with eBay, but eBay is a really great one overall in general. You can sell a lot of big things on there, even small things too. Just remember, it does take a little bit longer per post to make on there. And there is like listing fees and stuff like that that you should definitely look into. Mercari, a lot of people recommend Mercari for clothing. I haven't personally used it myself, but I definitely hear a lot of great things from the reseller community here, that Mercari works really well just for selling a bunch of clothing and like some certain crafts and stuff like that. But Mercari is really good. Another really great one is Facebook Marketplace. If you're going to use Facebook Marketplace, honestly, remember, it's free to list things. It goes to anybody on your Facebook, and pretty much you start tapping into a huge marketplace full of a bunch of other people looking to buy things and sell things. So you can maybe find something good yourself, but if not, you can see what other people sell those same or similar items for, and it's a really good one and it definitely works for local areas. And then social media. Honestly, social media is honestly probably one of the best things on here too as well. Again, it's free. You just take pictures of some things. Like, for example, what I do is I post these things called the daily deals on my Instagram page every so often. I'm trying to do it every single day. It's just I have so much other stuff going on, but pretty much I try to do it every day. I call them the daily deals. Now, these daily deals, basically, it's just me taking pictures of what the product is that I'm selling, but before I show them the product, I basically show how much the product is beforehand on like Amazon or Best Buy, however much, like let's just say if it's, I don't know, I'm looking around my room. Let's say it's a computer monitor or a keyboard. So let's say a keyboard sells for about $75 on Amazon, right? I would screenshot Amazon, circle Amazon on the screenshot, and then the price. That way people can see, whoa, Amazon has so-and-so product at $75 or whatever. And then you can say, hey, now here's the product, same, the one I have, same thing, I'm selling it for $50. That way people can actually see the deal that they're getting. And you can use social media to get a lot of good sales. And the cool thing is, a lot of your friends, believe this or not, a lot of your friends would actually like to get things, especially if you have them at a cheap cost. You don't know what they might be looking for. And it's definitely, again, it's free, great resource. It's everywhere that you want to post too. So I definitely recommend social media. Okay, and then additional. So for additional, there's a few other resources you can use. So a great one is Friends. So Tell your friends what you're doing. Say, hey, look, I got a pallet, bunch of cool stuff. If you guys are interested in buying anything, is right here. And yeah, just tell them how you're selling things. And a lot of good stuff happens when you tell your friends about these things, because they start to become interested, especially if you have friends that go over to your house or wherever you might be storing your things, and they just want to look through everything. You never know. I've had a lot of friends come over just to my place looking through all my stuff. Like somebody came once to buy like $5 worth of just like a little water bottle, and they ended up leaving with like $155 worth of things. And then I had somebody come over to buy, I think it was just like a $10 little thing machine that I had. They ended up leaving with like, I think about $87, I think, worth of things. So it's just little moments like this where you can have like, people can find things that they necessarily didn't know they were looking for. And that's with friends, that's with family. Family's always willing to support you. Word of mouth is great, because if you tell somebody and they'll be like, oh wait, look, Mom, I know a guy who knows this person who does this. And then they'll be looking for deals, and it starts spreading word of mouth. I would suggest having business cards for that. That's something I tend to do, and I give out a lot of business cards. Now, here's a few other things. They may or may not work for you depending on where you're at, and here's why. So, yard sales. Yard sales are great. Guess what? I live in an apartment. I can't do a yard sale. So what am I going to do? Find somebody who has a yard that you can use to host a yard sale, and you can say, hey, I can give you some of the money if you need, like 10% of whatever I make, 20, whatever you need, right? Or if they're cool enough and they don't need you to pay anything, but they'd rather join you and start selling some of their own stuff too, even better. Again, yard sales are a really great thing to do, and it doesn't hurt you. People stop by, look at things. You can make anywhere from, like $20 a day to an additional $150 a day. It just depends on how you do it. Typically, what I usually get around yard sales is around $75, which is really good. If you think about it, minimum wage is like $66 minus fees and tax. So there's that. So if you can make $75 a day just by doing yard sales, or even twice a week, that's even better. And then the rest of the stuff you can be at home listing. Now, at home sales are kind of what I said earlier. Basically, you can have your friends, family, anybody that you trust. Don't let strangers in. Anyone that you trust, or at least are friends of yours. You can pretty much invite them over to your home if you don't have a yard. In my case, my apartment. They come over, they look through everything, sit down, we get them water, food, whatever they need, right? And they just get comfortable looking through everything. They end up leaving and buying a whole bunch of different things that they might be interested in, and bam, that produces you sales, and then you get money, and you, instead of making a $5, $10 sale, now you probably get more than 50. Okay, so here's a few other things, just in case you would like to know. So eBay, I would personally, you don't have to follow this, but personally, I usually only do eBay for anything that's about $25 and over, mostly just because of fees, how long it takes to post, and then, just in general, everything takes longer through eBay, and then the return policies are like 30 days, so somebody could literally use something for 30 days and then return it. But eBay, $25 and over, that's what I mainly do, and it seems to be working for me. OfferUp and LetGo, I pretty much post almost anything on there. And you can post anything from something small, something big. Cool thing is, they only take a 12% fee, I believe, and then that's it. And then they pay for shipping. They pay for everything else too, for the just pretty much to just get it back and forth. But it's really nice. I definitely recommend OfferUp and LetGo for pretty much anything. Mercari and Etsy for clothing items, craftable things. I'm not sure specifically. Again, these are two that I mainly do not use, but it does vary from person to person from what I have heard in the community. Now, Craigslist. I don't use Craigslist. I know it works. I just think Craigslist is a very, how to explain this? I feel like a lot of, there's not a lot of younger audience people on Craigslist, because it seems most of the people who are on Craigslist seem to be people who are above 25, 30 years old. There might be some younger people on there. It's just, if you're trying to sell things like video games, of course they'll be on there, but like just things that more young people would be interested in, from what I've noticed, a lot of that doesn't sell too fast on there for some reason, because I've tried selling on there. Craigslist is good. It's just the audience is really strange, and you don't get as many, how to explain it, you won't get people messaging you as often as something else. For some reason, there's a lot of an older audience on Craigslist. Again, I'm not saying that there isn't young people. I'm just saying for some reason, it seems like there's only a majority of older people on Craigslist. Now, online shop. It's a great idea to have an online shop if you can create something like a Shopify store or some sort of like blog where you can list things. But pretty much you would either have to spread the word by itself, make advertisements basically saying, hey, I own an online liquidation or thrift store, whatever you'd like to call it, or, pretty much just that. But it's a great resource to have, and it's there for you. You can also use it for other things. Social media, I would say only post the cool things, and by the cool things, I mean like, for example, you don't want to post something like like a backup Dyson vacuum battery, like something very specific and niche, because more than likely that's not going to sell, and that's something very specific that people won't be looking for. But for example, if I were to list light strips that light up a room and change different colors, that's pretty cool, and people would be like, oh, I've been looking for some of those. Oh, I need some of those. And then if you show them that you have them for a deal, or if you're known for being, hey, I sell things at a good price, they'll be like, oh, wow, that's interesting. You know what? Let me message him before somebody else gets those because I want those, right? And then they'll message you because they want that cool thing. But again, remember, if you have a freaking replacement battery for a specific Ninja blender that nobody seems to have because it's like a 2008 blender or something, right? That's not going to sell on your social media. The cool thing is, light strips sell, things like that. Cool little toys and gadgets, people love that. And that sells quickly, just directly through DMs. Now, word of mouth, friends and family, it's highly underestimated because people don't really see the power of this. Because the way I make a lot of sales here at home is like I tell my friends, they come over, they buy things, and then from there they go home and then they recommend it to their mom, dad, parent, sister, whatever, right? They tell everybody, and then from there it keeps spreading and spreading. And then you start getting sales just coming in from the people who originally came to you trying to buy things. And it seems to highly work. And the cool thing is, if you always have pallets coming in maybe once a month or twice a month, you always have things to sell them, you will always have returning customers. I definitely recommend that. All right. And that's pretty much overall everything that we've kind of gone over. We're going to go ahead and just do a quick recap. We're going to keep it very simple on this part. Just what you should do. Step 1, find a liquidation source. Google it, see where you can go and find liquidation pallets. If not, use the resources I've given you. Number 2, find a pallet that you would like. And again, we've talked about what kind of pallets you should be looking for. Maybe something of interest. Just find a specific pallet, set your target on it, look at the information on it, read the lists and see what's inside of it or what you can see from the photos. Step 3, buy the pallet. Some of these are going to have auctions. Win the auction, set a good price point. Remember how much the MSRP of an item is going to be, and then how much you're paying. Remember that. And for schedule and pickup / delivery, only do a pickup if you can. Delivery is the only is the last resort for anything. If you for some reason have to do a delivery, then I guess you have to, but we always want to not do delivery. Is if you can pick up at whatever cost you can do it in, then do pickup. Step 4, inspect the items that you receive. Clean these items. If there's anything broken, fix these items. We want to be able to make sure that we can flip most of these things for profit. And if something is dirty or doesn't work or whatever's wrong with it, we need to make sure that they are in top condition, or at least as best of condition that we can get them into to sell. Step 5, we have to sell these items for a profit. Now, you can list these items on any of the places that I've shown you already. Just can keep listing. Remember, sometimes you will get a lot of things. You will become overwhelmed if you try to post everything at once. Don't do that. It's easier to just post 5 things a day and create that as a habit, because by the end of the week, you can have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 items listed, as opposed to trying to become, overwhelmed. You try to list 10 items or 15 items in one day, and then the next day you try to do the same, but the thing is you will burn yourself out, and then you will just stop completely. And I'm telling you this out of experience. Just do 5 things a day. It's easy, simple, quick. You can do it under an hour, and that way every day you only do it once an hour, or once a day for an hour. And then that way by the end of the week you have 7 hours pretty much worked, and you'll have 35 items listed. Again, you don't have to do 5 items. If you can do more in 1 hour, even better. But I would say set time aside every single day. Use a timer, whatever you need to, just to sell things. Don't overwork yourself. Now, number 6, rinse and repeat to scale. And scaling, that's the best part. Remember what we talked about? Taking 10 cents, turning it into 90 cents, and 90 cents into $9. That's scaling. Growing a business from very small to big. You want to do the same thing, but with the products that you're buying. Sell them, buy way more products the next time, sell them all, buy way, way, way more products that time to the point you need a warehouse or a storage or a garage, and repeat, 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 repeat. Eventually you will have so much money coming in that you will be able to hire employees. You have money coming into the side, and then you just, you can save money, invest in bigger things. It's really all up to you, but you have to begin somewhere, and this is it. So a lot of this is just pretty much very simple. It's just more about doing it. All right, to finish things off, we're going to go over some motivation and resources. We'll do resources first. If you need me as a resource, you can always text me on Instagram or pretty much on anything anywhere, just at waitwhoisdavid. Again, it's at waitwhoisdavid. And you can just send me a quick message, DM me, say, hey, I have a question about this, and this. I will be there as a resource. I will reply as fast as I can every time. And yeah, I'm pretty much on my phone all day. It's part of my job and what I do here. It's not even a job. It's pretty much, I'm free from everything now at this point. So I want you to be the same as well. But if you need resources, well, guess what? I can provide you with as many resources as you need. This video is a great resource to you. Please feel free to replay, look through certain parts of it. Anything you might need to do, you can show your friends. But that's there for you. And yeah, just resources in general. Go on Google, look things up. Again, a lot of this stuff is just pretty much all online for you. I didn't get taught by anybody for any of this, right? I just pretty much went out, did stuff, messed up, experienced, looked things up, did research, asked questions. That's all there really is for resources there. But again, motivation. A lot of this, I can tell you how to do all of these things. I can give you the exact step-by-step on everything that I'm telling you right now. This basically, it's very simple, and you've seen how simple it is, and you've seen how easy it is to scale something like this up. But the thing is, until you decide to say, hey, I'm going to go look at some pallets. Hey, I'm going to bid on this. Cool, I want this one. You buy it. Until you decide to actually start acting on these things that you're thinking, nothing is going to get done. It is up to you to do all of these things and take care of them. So the second that you start doing that is the second that you will start your journey on owning your own liquidation business. Other than that, I appreciate everybody who bought this course. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out and message me on any platforms, and I will answer any questions needed. I will, every now and then I will keep adding things back into this course, little things, tips and tricks that I can hopefully fix and adjust, maybe even smaller videos. I will be adding more into this over time, but everything that I've given you so far is pretty much everything you actually really need. If there's anything small, tiny that I've missed out on, like I said, I will add it in, but I don't think there's really much more that really should be crammed into. This is pretty much everything you really need to know. So again, I appreciate everything. Message me if anything, and for now, you guys have a great day.